Have you ever wondered why so many people never make it past 80? Not from dramatic illness or some tragic event, but from quiet things. Little things. The kind that don't get noticed until it's far too late. I've seen it happen more times than I'd like to count. A neighbor, a friend, even family members, here one year, gone the next. And every time I look back and realize the signs were there. Not in their medical charts, but in their lives. The truth is, most people don't die from one big thing. They fade away from 1,000 small ones. And unless we bring those small things into the light, they'll keep stealing time from good people who still have so much life left to live. So today, let me tell you what I've learned. The first thing you need to know is this: it's not just disease that takes people early, it's neglect. And not just neglect from others, self-neglect, quiet giving up, slowly stepping back from life. It starts so subtly. You stop walking as far, you stop reaching out to friends, you sleep in a little longer, you lose interest in cooking, you stop reading, you tell yourself it's just age, but it's not. It's withdrawal, a silent surrender, and it's one of the clearest signs that someone's not going to make it to 80. I saw it happen to my friend Thomas. We used to meet every Sunday, talk about the old days, laugh about things we'd done. But one winter he stopped showing up, said he was just tired. Weeks went by, I'd check in. He'd say, "I'm fine, just taking it easy." But something felt off. The light in his voice was gone. 3 months later, he passed in his sleep. No big illness, no warning, just a slow fading. Like a candle no one noticed had burned down. So what caused it? Looking back, it was a mix of things, but more than anything, it was emotional withdrawal. The first quiet killer I want to tell you about. One, emotional withdrawal, the disappearing heart. When someone pulls back from life, they often look fine from the outside. But inside, they're shrinking, and it happens more than you think. After retirement, after losing a spouse, after a move, without daily purpose or emotional connection, the heart starts to dim, not just metaphorically, physically. Studies show loneliness increases risk of death as much as smoking or obesity. And yet we don't talk about it, because emotional pain doesn't show up in X-rays, but I've seen it. In eyes that used to shine, in routines that used to matter, in people who stop picking up the phone. The solution isn't complicated, but it takes courage. It means reaching out, making the call, walking across the street to talk to a neighbor, joining a group, reigniting curiosity. It means saying, "I'm still here, and I still want to live." If this speaks to you, if you feel a small light flickering inside, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It's not just about helping the channel. It's about making sure more people hear these words before it's too late. Let me tell you about the second quiet killer. 2. The sitting disease, neglected movement. We weren't built to sit still all day, but that's what happens to so many of us after 60. The longer we sit, the weaker we get. Our blood slows down, muscles shrink, joints tighten. It doesn't take much. Skip your walks for a few weeks and suddenly stairs feel steeper. Groceries feel heavier. Life feels harder. And once life feels harder, it's easier to avoid it. That's how it starts. You stop going out as much. You stop bending to pick things up. You use the car for everything. Before long, your body isn't supporting you, it's holding you back. But here's the truth. You don't need to run marathons. You don't even need to break a sweat. What matters is movement. Gentle, daily movement. Stretch when you wake up. Walk around the block. Dance to music in your kitchen. Pull weeds in the garden. Just move. Your muscles remember. Your joints forgive. Your heart responds. I remember a woman named Ellen, 79 years old. Couldn't walk more than 10 steps without pain. Her daughter got her a dog, a little one. She had to walk him every morning. At first, it was 10 steps, then 20, then around the block. 3 years later, she was still alive and thriving. Because of a dog, because of movement, because she didn't give up. That's the truth I want you to hold on to. You're not done, not even close. But if you stop moving, your body will believe you are. There's so much more I want to share. About stress, about sleep, about why the mind starts to fade when we stop feeding it. But for now, just remember this: don't fade away, don't step back, don't assume it's too late, you're still here. And that means life is still here too, waiting for you to reach for it. One walk, one call, one moment of courage at a time. Let's keep going, because the next 2 reasons so many seniors never reach 80 are the ones we almost never notice until they've already taken their toll. They don't show up in early warning signs. They don't knock on your door with a sharp pain. They show up in silence, in tension, in tired eyes, in restless nights. Let me start with one of the most underestimated enemies of a long life. 3. Low-grade stress, the silent burden. We've all known stress. Life brings it. Work, finances, family, loss. But what we often don't talk about is the kind of stress that lingers after the storm. The low hum in the background that never truly goes away. The kind of stress you stop noticing because it feels normal. Worrying about your children even though they're grown. Feeling guilty for resting. Carrying old regrets like bricks in a backpack. I've seen this in so many seniors. On the surface, they smile. They say they're fine. But you can feel the weight in their shoulders. You can hear it in the way they sigh. It's the stress of unfinished forgiveness. Of things left unsaid. Of peace never made. And it doesn't just sit quietly in the mind. It affects your body, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your immune system, your sleep. It steals from you. One breath, 1 hour, one healthy cell at a time. I remember sitting beside a friend after his heart attack. He was in recovery and he said to me, "I never thought I was under stress, but I was angry for 30 years. I just hid it." That's the kind of stress that shortens life. So how do we let it go? You don't need a therapist or a mountain retreat. Start by writing down what you've been holding. Say what you need to say, even if it's just in a letter you'll never send. Speak forgiveness out loud, even if the other person is no longer here. Do it for you. Your peace is not a luxury, it's your lifeline. You were never meant to carry that weight forever. Now let me share the next silent thief. 4. Sleep neglect, years lost in exhaustion. I know, sleep isn't what it used to be. You wake up earlier, fall asleep later, toss and turn, get up for the bathroom. Your sleep becomes shallow, unpredictable. But here's the truth. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's harmless. Sleep is when your body repairs, when your brain resets, when your heart slows and heals. Without it, even the best habits struggle to keep you going. And yet so many seniors shrug it off. "I've never been a good sleeper," they say, or "that's just part of aging." But the consequences are real. Poor sleep increases risk for heart disease, memory problems, falls, mood disorders, even early death. And the most dangerous part, you stop feeling the damage, you just start calling it normal. You feel foggy, irritable, weak, and you accept it, but you don't have to. There are small ways to protect your sleep, and they make a bigger difference than you think. Here are a few I've tried, and they helped me more than I expected. Stop watching the news or screens an hour before bed. Drink your last cup of tea or water at least 2 hours before sleep. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Keep your room dark, quiet, and slightly cool. Do something calming before bed. Reading, praying, breathing deeply. One of the best things I did for myself at 70 was starting a bedtime routine again. Like I was a kid, at first it felt silly. But after 2 weeks I was falling asleep easier, waking up clearer. And when your sleep gets better, everything gets better. Your energy, your memory, your mood. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you earn. It's something your life depends on. So if you're listening to this and thinking, "Maybe I've been too tired for too long," then consider this your wake-up call, no pun intended. Start tonight. Even one small change could give you another year. And if you believe others deserve to hear this too, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Every action helps spread the kind of knowledge that quietly saves lives. We're not done yet. There's one more reason so many people don't reach 80, and it has nothing to do with their body. It has to do with their spirit, with what happens when curiosity dies. And that's what we'll talk about next. Let's talk about the final reason many seniors never make it past 80. And this one doesn't begin in the body. It begins in the mind. 5. The death of curiosity, when the mind stops growing. You see, there's something I've noticed in people who live long, vibrant lives. They all have one thing in common. It's not money. It's not perfect health. It's not even a big social circle. It's curiosity. They're still learning, still wondering, still asking questions. And that might sound simple, but it's not. Because something happens when we age. We start to believe that everything worth knowing has already been learned, that our best days are behind us, that there's no point in starting something new. But the truth is, the mind is like a river. When it stops moving, it goes stagnant. When you stop feeding it new ideas, new challenges, new joys, it begins to close in on itself. And that's when decline sets in. Not because the body failed, but because the spirit went quiet. I met a man named Harold at a community center years ago. He was 85 at the time, sharp as a tack. He spoke 5 languages, taught himself 2 of them after turning 70. I asked him why. He said, because I wanted to see how much I still could do. That stuck with me. He wasn't living longer because of luck. He was living longer because he kept living forward. So what kills curiosity? Routine that never changes. Television that never turns off. Conversations that never go deeper than the weather. If you want to reach 80, not just breathing but thriving, you need to feed your mind. Read something new. Learn a hobby. Ask a grandchild to teach you their favorite app or game. Go to a museum. Watch a documentary. Try a new recipe. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be different. Because every time you learn something new, you send your brain a message. I'm not done yet. And your brain responds. It lights up, it builds new connections, it gets stronger. You don't need a university to grow, you just need willingness. So here's my challenge to you. Before the week ends, try one thing that stretches you, even a little. Look up something you've never understood. Call someone you haven't spoken to in years. Try a new way of doing something old. Your life will thank you for it. You will thank you for it. Because every time you wake up with something to look forward to, you give your life momentum, direction, joy, and those are the things that carry you past 80, not pills. Not perfect genes, but purpose. That brings me to something I want to leave you with. It's not a warning, it's a blessing. It's this: you still have time. Whether you're 61 or 79, you still have today. And what you do with today matters more than all the days that came before it. Don't believe the lie that it's too late. Don't believe the myth that you're too old. You are not here by accident. You are here because you still have something to give. To learn, to experience, so live like it. Wake up with wonder, move your body, speak your truth, rest with intention, grow on purpose. And when you do, 80 won't be a finish line. It'll just be another milestone in a life that keeps getting better. If this message stirred something in you, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps others find this kind of truth, and helps remind us all that aging can still be a time of growth, connection, and power. Now go do one thing today that reminds your body and your mind you're still alive, and you're not done yet. Now that we've explored the quiet reasons why so many seniors never reach 80, I want to take you in a different direction. Because this next part isn't about what shortens life, it's about what stretches it. It's about the little things you can start doing right now to extend your years and enrich the life within those years. I'm not talking about miracles. I'm talking about mindset and small, steady actions that turn the tide. These aren't tips I pulled from a textbook. These are truths I've lived, lessons I've seen save people time and time again. Let's begin. 1. Reconnect with someone you've lost touch with. We all have someone, a friend we drifted from, a sibling we haven't spoken to in years, maybe even a child we lost to misunderstanding. You'd be amazed how healing it can be to reach out, not with expectations, not with an apology you rehearsed 100 times. Just with honesty, hey, I was thinking of you. That's enough, because connection isn't about fixing everything. It's about opening a door, and sometimes that one door brings a flood of life back into your spirit. 2. Take a 10-minute walk every day. I don't care how slow it is. I don't care if you use a cane. Just walk. 10 minutes a day can improve circulation, reduce the risk of stroke, lift your mood, and help you sleep. But beyond the physical, it tells your body, I want to keep going. And your body listens. Some of the longest living people on Earth don't do intense workouts. They move gently, daily, with purpose, so go outside. Let the sun warm your skin. Breathe deep. Let your legs carry you into another day. 3. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier tonight. You'd be surprised how powerful this one is. Most seniors don't get enough sleep, but instead of going to bed earlier, we just accept being tired. It doesn't have to be that way. Start small. Tonight, turn off the TV or the phone 30 minutes earlier. Dim the lights. Sit quietly. Let yourself unwind without noise, and then rest. Your body will thank you, and over time, your heart, your brain, even your immune system will begin to recover from years of exhaustion. 4. Forgive one thing you've carried too long. I know this one might be the hardest, but forgiveness doesn't mean saying what happened was okay. It means releasing its grip on your health, your mind, your life. I once held onto anger for 40 years. And one day I realized that the other person had moved on while I was still bleeding. So I let go, not because they deserved it, but because I did. And when I did, something opened inside me. I could breathe deeper. My chest felt lighter. I laughed again without guilt. Try it. Start with something small. Say the words out loud, even if they're just for you. I forgive you. Then pause and let your heart remember what it feels like to be free. 5. Pick up a new skill or challenge your mind. This doesn't mean going back to school or mastering a new language, though you could. It just means doing something you haven't done before. Paint, grow herbs, try crossword puzzles, write your story. Even one new challenge lights up your brain. It builds pathways, sharpens memory, gives you a reason to get up and try again. When you do new things, you stay young. I've seen 85-year-olds start learning piano, not to impress anyone, just because they wanted to, and it brought them joy. Joy is reason enough. So do it, not because the world expects it, but because your spirit is asking for something new. If any of this resonates with you, even one small part, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Because the best thing we can give each other is not advice. It's encouragement, and that's what this space is for. We need more voices saying, you still have time. You're not too old. Your story isn't over. Because that's the truth. And sometimes all it takes is one step. One letter, one early bedtime, one moment of courage. You don't have to change everything, just choose one. And watch what happens. Let's take a step back. After everything we've talked about, emotional withdrawal, lack of movement, stress, poor sleep, fading curiosity, and the daily choices that quietly shape our lives, there's one more truth I want to share. And it may be the most important one of all. It's this: you are still in charge of your story, even now. Even if you've made every mistake I've mentioned, even if you've lost years to silence, to sitting, to sadness, to fear, you're still here. And that means something. It means your story didn't end with retirement. It didn't end when your children grew up. It didn't end when your body slowed down or your energy faded. You still get to decide how this chapter is written. Not perfectly, but purposefully. You don't need to turn your life upside down. You just need to show up for it again. I remember an older gentleman I met years ago. Harold, 83 years old. He told me something that made me pause. He said, I spent most of my life waiting for a big change, a big shift, something to come along and make everything better. Then one morning I realized no one was coming. He smiled and said, so I became the one I was waiting for. From that day forward, he started walking again. He wrote letters to his grandchildren. He taught himself how to bake. He even fell in love again at 85. All because he realized this, he still mattered. And so do you? You matter more than you know, not because of what you produce, not because of what you can do for others, but simply because you are still here, still breathing, still learning, still able to love. So what do you do with that? You begin again. Begin with today. Begin with something small. Begin with a moment of kindness to yourself. Stop measuring your life by what you've lost. Start honoring it by what you still have. Every breath is an invitation. Every sunrise is another chance. And whether you are 60, 70, or nearing 80, you are not too late to live a life that feels rich, meaningful, and full of joy. Maybe your joy looks different now. Maybe it's slower, softer, simpler. That doesn't make it any less valuable. A quiet morning, a handwritten note, a phone call from someone you love, a walk in the breeze, a prayer whispered just before sleep. These are not small things. These are the threads that hold a good life together. So if you've found yourself wondering lately, is there still more for me? Let me tell you as clearly as I can, yes, there is still more. There is still laughter you haven't heard. There are still meals you haven't tasted. There are still people who need your wisdom. Still moments of clarity and peace waiting for you. Still days when you'll feel stronger than you have in years. But you must choose to stay in the story, not just exist, but live. Even if it's a little at a time, even if it's not easy, especially if it's not easy. Because every act of living is an act of courage. And courage, my friend, is something you've never run out of. So if these words have lit even the smallest spark in your heart, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Not because you owe me anything, but because there are others out there who need to hear this too. And when you support this message, you help me reach them. You help build something rare. A place where truth lives, where aging is honored, where strength is found in gentleness, and where stories, your stories, don't end quietly. They deepen. This is Glowing Age, where we grow older, not weaker, where we rise even when the world says sit down. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. You are not done. You're just getting started again. And I, for one, can't wait to see where you go from here.